Good morning. Good morning. 24. How are you?
Amazing that I'm on the show with you guys finally.
Yeah, man, it
Fine.
feels good. It's not it's straight up like $24 on GMSONIC. It's not Mr. Boss a shadow.
Yes. No shadow. You might see something in the background. Ignore it.
Yeah,
Nothing
so
to
we
do
can
with me
get
right
real
now.
now. So we can get real now. We can ask the questions that everyone's actually wanted to know and not the bullshit about Shadow Exchange.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is what I've dug up on you, dude, using my extensive research. You guys see this?
Yeah, there you go.
I've dug up the dirt on him using Grok. You guys know you can use Grok to summarize someone's entire account now? This is you 24. This is what you are in a nutshell, dude. It's pretty good actually.
I even got a quote. Tweet less
Yeah.
about what's not. Damn, dude. That I need that.
Yeah, you need that like in a frame. Dude, what's it say? Okay, it says he's a Sonic blockchain enthusiast and founder of Shadow Dex, passionately champions decentralized finance, offering tokenomics advice and boosting LP emissions with a knack for spotting crypto alpha.
So just a LP emissions booster. Where did that come
Oh
from?
yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Not
this
bad.
that you've been calling out inconsistent stats in the crypto scene, and the X community praised you, dude, for your shadow insights and leadership, dude. So basically, that's who we've got on stream today, guys. Is a really big deal. Oh wait, you guys are seeing my crazy timeline.
Yo,
Actually,
what chat advice?
Oh no, they banned Lana Queen. Hold on.
Wait, which one's Lana Queen, dude? Look at this.
He
Is
was
it funny?
posting FUD or something, I think.
Yeah,
Oh, good
dude.
riddance.
You're a Web3 marketer who flipped sneakers and NFTs since age 7.
This is what's funny about this is almost all of this is lies that I've written online.
It's from that coffee pasta. I remember reading it.
Yeah,
More
it's my
recently.
coffee pasta. I love how I'm debating ethics with a sharp wit. Grok is such a midway. It's awesome, dude. It thinks I'm smart. All right. But wait. Lana Queen from SwapX.
No. This was that was like the FUD account that was beefing everybody on the timeline. And it was one of those accounts where like some people were like insinuating that the entire account was some kind of like paid FUD account. And I doubt that. I doubt it was paid FUD, but she was getting some engagement with, some FUD on just like Sonic in general in the airdrop. But one of those accounts where it's like blatantly like an AI picture of somebody. And everybody's like my queen and my this and my that, and I'm like my guy. That's a man, as Austin Powers would say. That's a man, baby. Mysteriously the account went down or got suspended or whatever.
You remember Crypto Justine? Do you remember that account? This is maybe like a long shot, and she was just using. They were just using like what's her name? Michelle Radajowski's photos or some shit, or Emily Radajowski's like one of the hottest models in the world, and people were like, "Oh, you're such a babe, you're so beautiful." Like you reverse image search it once, and like literally like fucking GQ magazine comes up. It's like I don't think this is fucking.
No. I thought that too. She looks almost the same, and then she would post specific Phantom stuff. I remember. I believed this lady. And there wasn't AI back then, so I don't know. I just actually unfollowed her like 2 days ago. I finally gave up. She's like not posting anymore. Time to pack it up and go.
So be wary, guys. These crypto girls, they're temporary. They're not going to stay for long, dude. They love to get banged.
I think it's that like the ultimate lesson is who lost in these AI women, these AI girl crypto battles, the simps. So never simp. That's the motto here. That's what you got to learn. She's probably like, they're probably like sending her tokens and stuff and NFTs and, or I say her, him. But yeah, I hate to see it though. I like looking in those replies to those posts were just like painful.
Tell Vitalik this, bro. Tell Vitalik this, dude. He's got to stop simping, dude. He's out here simping for one of the most hot button issues today.
What if like Vitalik at least like pulled an Ansem and was just like, "What's your EVM wallet, girl? I'm about to send you like 500 Ethereum." You know what I'm saying? Like at least do that, at least like flex on it or something, man. Like, but the simping is just it hurts.
Dude, what if Vitalik did I think Vitalik has an opportunity to do something very interesting here. I don't know if you guys know about Aya Girl. She's like a San Francisco prostitute / PhD student / OnlyFans model. She's got it all. She gets traction a lot on Twitter 24 for posting like hypotheticals, but they're usually like really disgusting and messed up. Like I don't want to repeat them really. But so she got in a lot of trouble because she posted, not trouble. People reacted really violently because they're like, can you stop posting, gross stuff on Twitter? She's the lady that posted about, she had an orgy, and she also posted she only showers like once a month.
Anyway, she's that girl.
Yeah. So anyway, Vitalik's defending her, but Vitalik has the opportunity to do something pretty interesting. He could do something like that Dracula, where he's like, let's do a thought experiment. How much Ethereum for you to never post on X ever again?
I like that idea. That's a good idea.
But he's
now, you know what a real man does though? You got the founder of Ethereum simping on the timeline, but here's what a real leader does. Here's what a real man does. He hides in the bunker and he codes 24 hours a day.
100%, dude. We are at war right now, 24. I don't know if you get this. We're at war. You got to be in the bunker, dude. Vitalik's out there in the cat house, okay? Andre, everyone is begging for him to come have tea and crumpets with them and have a good time. He can't do that. He can't afford that right now, dude. People want him dead, bro. He's got to get Flying Tulip out.
Yeah, so this is what a real man does, right? He's not simping on the timeline. He's in solitude in a cave, just, coding relentlessly, just, trying to get it ready. So
yeah, this image is missing when he's laying down. He has a monitor strapped right to his screen, like his face.
There needs to be
like so much.
Yeah, there needs to be like a monitor on the very top there that he's staring up at. So
yeah, he's just fucking gooning down there, guys. I hate to break it to you, but I've seen his eyes, dude. He's got the eyes of a haunted gooner.
Yeah, I'll take this 10 times out of 10 versus whatever Vitalik stuff you just showed me. She's a schmut writer, and the founder of Ethereum's responding to that.
Vitalik can't, dude. Yeah, it is a bad look. All jokes aside, I think it is a silly look. I mean, I guess it works for Silicon Valley because a lot of the guys out there really like support her and like her. I'll leave you to wonder why.
Yeah.
But I think I forgot what I was going to say. It's gross. It's pretty much just gross. Vitalik's been on a downward spiral lately, dude. He's going communist. He's all kinds of shit. So I don't know. What is he going to do next, 24? What level of degeneracy is Vitalik going to fall to next, you think?
Only God knows, man. He's already on like the ground floor. So like how much further can you fall like to Earth's core? I don't know. It's just certain stuff like, as a founder or somebody representing a team, like just kind of like trying to stay away from.
Yeah.
He's finding himself right now. Remember, he was like kind of repping like Milady there for a minute. He's trying to figure out what his identity is nowadays.
That is true. He didn't have a time to be a wild young man, did he? He went straight from diapers to building the world computer. So now he wants to go sow his oats, 24. I guess we can't really fault him.
Well, I was trying to think of how to tie in sowing oats with the charts, but
well, I sowed some oats at 40 cents, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I was gonna like we were hoping for a bounce and we bounced. So we still got some ways to go, but I pulled my move. I said I already ran this play twice. I ran it a third time thinking maybe it'll bite me, but I flipped long somewhere around there, and it's going well so far. So I don't know what that said. I mean, we hit it 3 times, right? So to me, this was kind of like an important one because it was like, all right, like by the time you hit like a support 3 times, it's kind of like, all right, it's time to either move on or, we're going down or whatever. So right now it's looking like we're going to move up. Let's, cross our fingers.
Would you consider these confirmations of the trend reversal? Or I feel like we got to close above 40 before.
Yeah. I think we got to have some closes, above 40 for sure before we can feel like this is just like a total confirmation. So, not out of the woods totally yet, but I feel like that was that's as good as you could ask for basically at the moment without it just, shooting straight back to 50 cents or something.
Over the
Remember,
Go ahead,
I was gonna say, remember when it crashed for like weeks to months, and people were like complaining,
Oh
and
yeah.
now they want those times back. They're hoping it gets back to those ranges. So I just find it funny to see sentiment in terms of price action go from this sucks, it's not moving, to holy shit, it's moving, but not where I want it to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the problem, the sentiment gets down during crab time because it's like, I feel like in some ways people might lose more money in the crab than they do in actual trends because, people just overtrade. And in the crab, that's honestly, when you're straight up nailing a top or a bottom, those are like really rare moments when you actually time it well. The big people in the market, their actual bread and butter is just in the crab, shorting you, breaking through everybody's stops and everything else over and over and over again. These people make really good money in the crab market, and that's where people are over trading, thinking, okay, this is the bottom, this is the bottom, this is the top, this is the top. So I don't know. I can see why though the sentiment, it's like if you don't overtrade, it is kind of boring, first of all. But then maybe you get too bored, you finally make a move, you get, flushed out like immediately. So yeah, I'm viewing this right now as like we're hopefully, I think, this is looking more like a confirmation, and I think we're moving back up.
I pray it is, because I went big on this. I was on the weekend. Can you throw the Ichimoku clouds up here? I don't know if they work on Sonic because of the relatively like low volume and liquidity compared to like Bitcoin. But I was like looking at it, and we were like below the cloud, and so I'm kind of positive here. I'm hopeful like that this was a bottoming out. I have one short open that's just to kind of cover me, but it's got a very conservative like stop loss on it. That's just like if there's an insane dump that happens, I won't kill myself,
I mean, because we still got, like if you're looking at this, we're way below the moving average. This is just kind of like a broad 50.
The magnet, dude.
Yeah, I mean, we still got a ways to go. I think the alligator actually is somewhat bullish. We're finally like tapping into gator territory, which traditionally when people play the gator, this is like where you would like long. Because similar to like the Ichi cloud. Yeah, like similar to the Ichi cloud, it's kind of like a magnet, and it's like once it moves into here, you're playing it thinking, okay, we're going to go, edge to edge at least, hopefully go through that. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of signs that this is like a true reversal.
Yeah. And to your point with the crabbing, we did see people blow up. We saw people blow up on the timeline during crabbing times, which I thought was crazy because that meant that they were just leveraging everything on like price movements that are like very small. Very sad. It's nothing to laugh about, but something to be concerned about. Don't get too antsy and overtrade.
But yeah, I mean, it's a hard lesson to learn, it really is. And it's like
an expensive lesson to learn.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like if you're learning charts or you're doing, your own, everybody charts different, whatever. It's like just, stick to like your plan. You know what I mean? Like, stick to the plan. Don't, make a move too early. Mr. Clean, good morning.
Morning, Mr. Clean. 24. Now, but we're fortunate enough to actually have you on the stream because you're a market maker, so you kind of just control all this price stuff, right? So what's it going to take for you to make the price go up?
Oh man, as somebody who, I've been enjoying the tweet. So as much as like what gets the best response. So if I pumped the chart here, Twitter guys wouldn't even congratulate me. They're just assholes. So I need to make sure they feel the pain sometimes, So I just want to remind them I'm alive. So that's what we do as market makers. We don't reduce volatility and we don't, stabilize the price. In fact, we operate strictly off of the Twitter feed. So like more complaints means more shenanigans.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what this is, right? You and Wintermute were just trading the same 10 Phantom back and forth, but like lower and lower each trade, right? Like that's kind of what was happening. That's why the price is going down.
Look at this tweet. Oh my god. Why'd they buy more, dude? Stop them. These guys, you can't stop them.
Why did they buy more? And then let's go back to the chart real quick, Dracula. Like, why did they buy more? And then if we zoom out on the chart, why would anyone buy more, dude? Why would anyone who isn't like a Spurg on Twitter buy more at this price level? I wonder.
Yeah. I mean, and this is kind of why we were talking about this with Mitch from the Sonic strategy stuff where, we were talking about how there is kind of like the only thing that I guess separates people right now is some people are playing the charts based on historic Phantom price movement, or they're playing it on S as like a fresh token. I'm doing it as like the S is a new token kind of deal. I understand why people would play it on the Phantom, but if you zoom out on just S here, I mean, it's pretty clear, right? I mean, to me, this is where the market feels like the bottom is repeatedly. So yeah, anybody, any big fund, anybody, I mean, anyone that's even just trading, whatever, they might be buying here, to me, it's pretty clean, really. It's like, I mean, now, like I said, when you hit the same thing so many times, there is kind of like all right, like something's got to give eventually. But
I think an interesting thing, I kind of like the idea of combining the charts just because of it feels it looks bullish. It just looks like a little bit more, it makes me feel better. But I think an interesting thing to point out too is there are like funds buying in and out of this. So this isn't like like TA is primarily like a psychological expression, right? Like you're seeing what the psychology of the market is. So it's interesting when you compare like a meme coin like shitcoin price. This kind of price action kind of means something a little bit different than if you're looking at something like this where actual funds are getting in and out, right? Because the price levels are actually significant to people trading it.
Yeah. I mean, that is kind of the funny part is it's like you said, it is like a psychological, it's that, people are just doing this based on, all right, like this is like the bottom. This is what makes sense. Like this is, time to pump, time to sell, whatever. So, and what I was going to do was I had Bitcoin pulled up just because, I feel like the sentiment, the sentiment is good on Bitcoin. I mean, this is the weekly Bitcoin. We had 1 week there where, it was kind of like trying to make up its mind. That was also when, they were stop hunting James Wynn. So we are holding strong now on Bitcoin. I think that we're probably primed for another leg up here, I think at this point. So, I always like to look at that when we're looking at kind of like the overall sentiment of the market. It's like, the sky isn't falling. We're still here. Bitcoin, as long as Bitcoin's over $100,000, there's plenty to be excited about.
Yep.
I can even see a world where it dips below and we're still excited, dude. But
yeah, that's why I find it so obviously people are freaking out about alts, but dude, Bitcoin would be in the gutter and your alts too. So there's something to look forward to. And And when you speak about psychological stuff, like I had to bring it back to Sonic as we already went to Bitcoin. There is that bit of an airdrop that is looming over people's head. I don't think it's as bad as what it's perceived as, just because a lot of it's vested. But when you have like Bitcoin in all-time highs, like you can't really be too worried about the alt prices when eventually that dominance cedes, right? And people are looking for other opportunities and stuff. And for Sonic, it might be after that airdrop wave. It could be even before. Like, you never know. They might like want to. I don't know. I've seen it before. Before you get into an airdrop, like sometimes some makers they make the chart very bullish entering. So winner mute whoever's out there, market maker plus. These are my hands together in prayer.
Yeah, and I mean that has been the classic everything is priced in, everything is priced in. There is something to be Fabian, he says why down, never up. That's what I was kind of getting at, I guess, with the priced in is that, we are like in a unique situation where there's usually not like existing price data and price action going into like an airdrop for a new chain, basically. So this is kind of like a unique, this is a unique situation where it's like, usually, the chain drops, the airdrop comes out, the token's not actually out yet. So it's different. It's that, we were moving up and there is probably a little bit of like uncertainty in terms of like, okay, well, like, what am I going to do when all these tokens hit the market? But they are taking this approach with the vested airdrop. It's like 24 was just saying, we might see that it doesn't actually even have like as big of like an impact as some people are expecting. Fallout says, I'm waiting for the airdrop NFT sales to be, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I agree with that.
I've got something about this, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it adds like an extra element to, people are going to be speculating on, okay, like the discount I can get on the token right now. Obviously, the way these markets work, there's obviously going to be some kind of discount that gets put into play that people are comfortable with. Sometimes with VNFTs, that ends up being like 20, 30, 40%. So I'll be interested to see like what happens with these airdrops that actually are just, full. The NFTs are full of S. What is like the discount going to be that kind of becomes like the standard?
Mm-hmm. A little early here, but I'm expecting this to do a lot of OTC volume. We've even talked about tokenizing some of these positions because they have like an inherent APR as it vests, like you're earning more. So it's like kind of like a yield bearing asset. So obviously there's the marketplace paint swap made, but I don't know. There's cool stuff that could happen here. I genuinely do think that it's gonna have a lot of OTC volume. Obviously Sonic's gonna have its volume, but it could be comparable in that sense in terms of the airdrop OTC volume and spot volume. So I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see how that shakes up. But yeah, maybe we tokenize it to also add liquidity. Maybe we do some cool stuff. I don't know, but I know PaintSwap already has that. It's just when you see an asset that has like an APR to it, like it's a yield bearing asset technically because it's unvesting over time. Some cool stuff that can happen with that. I think we could do some DeFi stuff there, and I think beyond just shadow, maybe some lending markets can tap into this too. But we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm expecting a lot of OTC volume, like because usually you see, like Dracula said, it's done with like VNFT or those type of financial items that are traded, but there isn't as much demand in sellers as like a actual layer one blockchain. So very curious to see how that'll go.
Yeah, I'm very interested as well because I've been thinking about it. Like, I think most people see immediately like there's an opportunity for like a lending here, like you borrowing against your future phantom position, right? Like, at like some kind of discount or premium. But I'm curious to see what other things people build, because there are like crazy. This isn't the first asset like this that's been on like in crypto, but this is like I think the first I've seen on Sonic, where there's like kind of like this culture of DeFi degeneracy where they might try to like create some weird instruments, which I'm excited to see. Do you have anything in the works right now, 24, for the airdrop? Like, are you expecting
Yeah,
anything?
we're thinking about it. We have some cool stuff that there's some teams bringing like a wrapped HLP like liquidity to Sonic. There's a lot of like those type of assets where they earn so much that just having them on Sonic, where in this case, the Sonic airdrop's already on Sonic, but there's a lot of cool stuff like that happening. But we did want to tokenize it. We're definitely in like the planning and looking into it stage. We do want it to be complementary to the pay swap market. Like I'm not trying to take any of their, I guess, their volume, but like for example, if a lending market wanted to have this liquidity, they do need like traditional AMM liquidity, I believe, not an order
Mhm.
book. But yeah, we would tokenize it maybe a different name. But the key point is it has inherent APR, and there's so much cool DeFi stuff that can happen over time. Like but if I tokenize it now on Shadow, it makes it a little bit more accessible liquidity wise for the value of it later, right? So
Mhm.
it just makes it so that users can really, maybe the discount on the OTC markets might drop because there's a vast amount of liquidity for it, and people are factoring in that future yield on the asset. Either way, I think
Mm.
there's a lot of opportunity here for a lot of volume and a lot of cool stuff. So people that look at it like as a negative, because of the way it's structured and it's vested, people can trade this. There'll be a lot of OTC. It's not something that just hits the market and dooms the chart to nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to kind of see just the
I'm
activity. You can never tell until it's out there, right?
You're getting me kind of excited about this, because I'm thinking about this, and like if there are like these varied assets in markets like this, it's going to be kind of easy for a little bit because they're all going to be mispriced as shit. So if you can like figure it out, like you can make a lot of S really cheap.
Yeah,
Just working
exactly.
like the lending and the paint swap market. Which I wanted to talk about a little bit, because you brought it up. Like they've got their own order book market maker. You said a traditional. Oh, I think you said a traditional AMM, because this is.
No, no, like so us would
Mhm.
be traditional AMM. I believe this is an order book
Yeah,
where you
yeah,
can
that's
just
what I
trade.
meant.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like it's interesting, because an order book, like in traditional finance, an order book is a traditional market maker. They use an order book to settle them, right? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like most
Yeah.
of your CEXs, Hyperliquid's a club as well. Any of those, there's a lot of advantages for a centralized liquidity or whatever club. There's a lot of advantages for it, especially for perps. But in
Yeah.
this case, like could be some really cool OTC volume, like just trading and
Mhm.
oh man, yeah, I'm just reading double sharp here.
No, 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 no. Tell me about it, dude. Tell me about it. I'm trying to find
I'm not, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be like it's optimized for
Mhm.
like very very low slippage because it's just one asset and then it's like peer to peer. So I'm just excited to see the volume here and because there's a lot of opportunities. There's people that are just going to be wanting to get rid of it,
Mhm.
right? So you'll see like a lot of inefficiencies. I'm gonna have to change my name. I do that all the time. When I'm really down bad port wise, you'll see my name change to $2.4, 24 cents. I've gone as low as 2.4 cents. Like so hopefully
Mm.
hopefully I don't go lower than that. But
Yeah.
um
There
yeah,
was
no,
a
it'll be
time where
really
we were
cool.
calling you $24 million, though. So,
Yeah, yeah, that was the peak bull. Oh man, yeah, it's gone after that.
No, like it is interesting to think about like the S airdrop and how it's going to play with these markets. I want to point out Jordan Maxwell, don't be a doomer, dude. I think we just told you it's not going to be that bad, dude, because it is mostly vested. Um, not a okay, so we already addressed not a Bear Sonic's concern, I guess too. Um, but yeah, these clubs are really cool. I think there's a couple others on S, aren't there? Or wasn't there going to be built one? For
There's a couple of. I'm not sure if they got traction. I don't know if they were centralized. What is the CL part? I think they were just order books. They weren't the
concentrated
CLOB.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking. We were talking about this literally last episode, just about how looking at something like Hyperliquid, it's like Sonic could actually, it'll be like a nice showcase of the tech that Sonic could actually handle like a real order book like this, and it actually be like settled like in real time, how it should be. Because that's what we were discussing, was that yes, Sonic needs like that really big perp clob kind of, like similar to Hyperliquid, but there's technical advantages to where Hyperliquid is notoriously settling things not exactly like in real time on chain, you know what I mean?
I know.
So, someone just needs to grab the brass ring and get that. But no, I mean, it's gonna be interesting.
Gems, like, do you remember the gem booms? A lot of the Emerald ones were order books for that reason, because it could really be showcased on Sonic. Kind of sucks that they didn't pan out. So CLOB, Central Limit Order Book. Yeah. Boom. Sorry, I had to remember that. But yeah, no, it would have showcased the network, like the capability amazing. Like but I think the clubs that have got traction, this is kind of like options for me, because options haven't really gone to the places it has in TradFi. Like so I think perps makes a lot of sense. Or here's a great one. Here's a great example of a club. One for an airdrop that's vested that people are immediately trying to get rid of and trade with each other. There's going to be instant traction here. Like, you don't have to worry. It's all you can do with it, right? Unless you want to just quickly slash your rewards and get the 25%, which people don't want to. They would rather trade the upside, which will majority will be on order book. If you are thinking at all, you wouldn't just slash your 75% of your rewards to get the liquid. You would just trade it on the order book. So this will be a great example of a club, and it's on Sonic. So
yeah,
I'm extremely excited for this one, and hopefully we can build extra layers on top DeFi wise. I think it starts with the AMM here, so like we'll tokenize it, and then there'll be like maybe some lending markets and stuff like that. Oh damn, you can do Pendle too, no? I think so. Yeah. I think.
I mean, if you have that
we
yield,
tokenize it. Yeah. We just gotta. We will figure it out. Yeah, this will be an exact great example. So far, like I said, we saw perps do well, and then an airdrop marketplace where users have no choice but to trade here, unless you're a bad trader and you want to just get the 25%, which you wouldn't. You would do the discount on the order book, just FYI for everyone watching here. So it'll get traction. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of the part I'm interested to see as well, is there are people that are not going to think twice about just burning, the whole position, as soon as they can. And those tokens get, put away. So you're probably going to see a lot of tokens get black holed basically on top of everything else. But yeah, it's like, if you're smart, think about it. Don't do that. You'll be able to like sell it basically like a discount instead of just, burning all the rest of your tokens forever. Something I think would be interesting, you were talking about lending. There could be like a secondary kind of like you were saying, like OTC kind of market where like there's a marketplace on Avalanche called Salvor, and basically it's more like just direct peer-to-peer. People just literally put up what they're willing to lend, like how much they're willing to lend, and someone comes with the NFT, and either they accept it and everything gets done that way. I'd be interested to see if someone did that, because then you would also have this whole other secondary kind of like what people expect for discounts and everything else. So yeah, I mean, there's like a lot of stuff people can do with it. Yeah, I mean, I think having it tokenized would be really cool too. I mean, there's just like a lot you can do.
Dude, I want to fork that. That sounds like a cool idea. It's just a complete OTC market where you can set custom terms.
Yeah, it's lending, and I think they have a stock. I mean, I don't know if you can pick how long your loan is or whatever, but I feel like it's like stock like 4 or 5 weeks or something. But yeah, people literally just go into the market and say, hey, here's what I'm willing to lend you for this size NFT, and people just go in and accept it or whatever. And then, you're paying interest, and if your term expires and you haven't figured it out, then that person gets your NFT, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot that could be going on. It would be, and like 24 said, since it is like all just one asset, you could just have like these multiple classes of, okay, like if I go to the order book, I get this discount. If I go to a lending market, I get this, I can expect this kind of, discount. So it could be like its whole like own little eco, you know what I mean? Like a whole suite of like things people could do with it.
It would be cool. Let me ask a question. Might be a little stupid here, but what if like why hasn't anyone ever used, or why haven't we seen assets like this pick up traction before? Like if there is all this flexibility to it, it's kind of a simple idea. I mean, I've had it a bunch. I've pitched to people like an idiot that like an NFT that has like some amount of assets that it like releases at like a coupon rate, or just a yield rate, is a kind of a fun asset. And if you can be revoked or whatever, or the assets inside burned if something changes, that seems like an easy way to raise money or something. Like if I issue you a NFT with like a bunch of my token in it, I don't know. It's just like a way of like, I guess, putting the vesting terms like literally on the chain. I don't know. Do we see anything like that 24, or we got anything like that?
Do you mind repeating that?
So like, let's say I'm raising money, right? Instead of selling like liquid tokens or even vested tokens, I'm selling like NFT positions that are slowly like emitting the.
Yeah, actually, I might have seen it. Like I said, I didn't think that got traction. I feel like I've seen it because NFTs are a bit of friction. That's the thing.
Mhm.
People like to have their tokens. Like you can just do a normal vesting contract, right?
Yeah.
So that's the one thing. So the reason why I'm so like bullish on this marketplace is it's all you can do with it. Like you're compelled to as like a plus EV action. Like if you're thinking expected value, I got these rewards. I can only get 25% of it instantly, or I can get some sort of discount on the market where that is just everybody who's gotten this airdrop who wants to get rid of it initially. That's why I think also those people that maybe not wanted to trade it or they want to buy people's cheap positions, then that's where maybe we tokenize the NFT. I guess the NFTs do AMM liquidity. Maybe provide some rewards, but the main point for that is now people can do lending markets with this tokenized position, like just a regular token ERC, and then that's where the real speculation happens with the borrowing and maybe leveraging as well. So if you believe in us, like it's a great position to take, and there'll be a lot of freebies just from people just being, the casual airdrop farmer. I brought my stables and I got my money for it. I'm out. Okay, you can make a little bit of money off of their backs. And what I find so funny, I don't know if you guys have seen on Twitter. Oh my God. I have seen some hilarious messages. I'll go try and post one of them, but somebody was not happy. Yes, I found it instantly. Instantly. Let me guess. All right. Let me guess. You came to farm the airdrop with USDC, and after airdrop planned to leave, you didn't buy S or any ecosystem tokens, right? Question mark. So you're not from SBAM, but just tourists for money. This has me cracking up. Guys, this is the entire point of the airdrop, is to get users to try the chain, get familiar with it. So if they want to give you their airdrop for cheap on this marketplace, buy it.
Yeah.
But these messages got me laughing. You just bought your USDC to farm on our chain?
He's talking like he's getting colonized, dude. He's like, you came to my country and to take my gold or whatever. Like, dude, it's it's the whole point of this thing.
You're
You
a
know?
tourist. You're not even staying.
You
Dude,
come to Sonic and you fly the Arbitrum flag while you farm your USDC. Oh man.
Yeah, you know, one thing I've learned on Twitter, they hate to see a fella make $1, dude. They hate to see a guy make $1, dude.
It's like I said, man. It was like James Wynn, man. I was like, they're just hating. They were just like, you know, like this guy's making money. I don't like to see that. Like we gotta liquidate this guy. That should be my money. That's my money. What are you doing? You're making money. That should be mine.
Exactly. USDC farmers.
Yeah.
They're seething that people are in USDC when the market dipped, dude. That's why
How dare you protect yourself.
That makes me think, you know, there's this, I think it's called Plasma. I don't know if you guys saw this, but it's a chain. I mean, I don't know why it took so long for someone to really do this, but it's a chain that runs on Tether. So the entire chain runs on Tether, like gas, like everything. And I was kind of interested in it. I thought it was like an interesting idea, but of course, what they're doing is more of like a farm, kind of like a farm deal where you put in, you know, a certain amount of funds and you get to farm it early. Well, they had a cap and it was insane. It was like 10 guys basically got like 40 something % of the farming. And only like 1,100 people got in. So we'll see how that goes in terms of, you know, 10 guys basically going to like own the initial network in terms of tokens. But, you know, it's just the way things are. I mean, it's like we talk about with the dominance charts, you know, it's like this is just, you know, you have to view stables as, I mean, if you don't want to look at them as like a stable coin or whatever, you got to at least look at it as, you know, okay, you have Bitcoin, you have Ethereum, and you have stables, you know, if you're looking at like the top things that have dominance on the network. So, you know, we're going to see more and more of this. I would speculate that within the next few years, we're going to see, there will be lots of chains that literally just run off stables. Like, no way it doesn't happen.
I could see that for sure.
JG Winsworth, it's my money and I want it now. Yeah, that's true, man. They weren't having it. I mean, you know, he even had this like really sad, sappy post that he's like, I tried to go against the Bitcoin cabal. And
yeah,
it's like, bro, like these aren't like whales. These are people that have like nation state value of cash on hand. You know what I'm saying? Like these aren't just like whales. Like, you know,
there's a certain, it's something interesting to me about crypto culture, dude, is that it is like very much like David Goliath has always been like the push, because it's like we're gonna take down the juggernaut that is finance, right? But like that doesn't mean that like money, that rich people don't just keep winning, dude. Like there's no way to set up a system that's a financial system where the people with the most money don't benefit the most. Like they expect the blockchain to be communist or something. The 10 smallest airdrop farmers get the 10 largest airdrops. That's how it should be. Yeah. 24, what do you think? We should do welfare on the chain. What do you think?
Honestly, a little bit. I think just the small guys, just give them like a min amount, you know?
If they if they KYC, I'm game, dude.
Dude, that's gonna scare people. Oh man, KYC.
Well, look, I don't want to get look, if we're giving donations to anonymous people, dude, I don't want to give it to some North Korean hacker who it definitely will be.
True. Very true. Actually, you brought up a USDT layer one. I think there's one called Stable, or it's backed by USDT. But anyways, they're trying to go for Justin Sun, man. He's doing so much USDT volume, man. They're trying to steal his lunch.
Yeah,
that's like the second one. Yeah, they're gonna steal his lunch. Hey, that's Tron. I always looked into it. I'm like, holy shit, this network does a lot of like fucking USDT, but it's a primary on and off ramp for people for their USDT.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, I've talked about this before, where when I first got into crypto, really, not first when I got in, but like more like when there was, networks and everything. I was always blown away. I was kind of like in my own little world, mostly playing on like, Ethereum and BSC and whatever. And I would meet so many people that were just like, yeah, I move all my money with Tron. And it was for that very reason. It was, people in like Central America, South America, Asia, Africa. It was like, yeah, I mean, I move stables around and it's like a fraction of a penny. And I mean, at the end of the day, those are going to be the biggest rails probably as we move forward. I mean, now we could see something interesting, kind of like what we saw with the L2s, how it's actually started to kind of hurt Ethereum with the liquidity getting so just kind of like spread out all over the place. Could that happen with like something like Tether or USDC? I don't know. That could be something to think about.
That's actually really. We got to get a PhD economist on here to talk about that, because thinking about it, like if it's something like USDC and if it gets more embedded with like the financial system as it exists, where they could tap even more dollar liquidity, you could get some. You could have some really weird financial contagions or something happen, dude. That's kind of cool.
I think what you might see, and something to think about. I mean, maybe you see a stronger like push for individual networks to have like a network stable. I mean, and we used to have that. I mean, last run before USDC and Tether were so like accessible, that was kind of like what you did when you launched a network. You had your gas token, you had a stable that was kind of like inherently built on the network. So I don't know. Maybe we even see a move into that.
I think that's what the liquidity guys would love to see, is if we have like a specific stable for each chain, decentralized, if you will. But
I mean, it's kind of like how a lot of the stables tie in the T-bills. Mm-hmm. It would almost be like rehypothecated or whatever, where it's like every chain has a stable that just, earns some yield off of USDC or Tether that's earning off T-bills or something. I don't know, but something to think about.
That makes sense. I wonder if there's enough business for that, though. It feels like you'd get out competed, like in that maybe not that you'd get out competed, but there's like the security concerns and the stability concerns. If those get solved in a way that the industry finds like acceptable, I could see it happening.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish that on the dominance chart they would just say like kind of how they have other. I wish you could like just kind of count all of the stables that are out there that are like decent size, but it's just Tether USDC for now. So, but still, you got to think that it's just Tether and just USDC is basically a little more than half the dominance of Ethereum. So, like I said, we're moving in that direction. So if you hate stable tokens, it's time to reconsider maybe at least making part of your portfolio stables. I know it's not fun. It's not sexy to earn like 10% yield on stable tokens or whatever, but I would say consider making some of your portfolio stable tokens. You'll sleep a lot better at night too.
Yeah, it's like I was talking to my cousin about this. Actually, not my cousin. I was onboarding a young man. I was telling him about this ancient financial wisdom, which is 80-20, dude. If you're under what, 40 or 30, your portfolio should be like 80-20, 80% risk on, 20% risk off. Typically it's 80% stocks, 20% bonds. If you're going to be a psychopathic lunatic and trading crypto, you probably should be doing something similar. Although probably the wisest thing would be to be even more skewed towards stables, because the returns are kind of insane and the risk is much less significant than the more volatile assets. But then again, we got to admit what our audience wants. What our audience wants, they want 1000x tomorrow, dude. So don't screw stable coins. We don't want to hear about it. Don't ever talk to me about something that's only going to be worth $1 ever again. Okay. I got a Dollar Tree in my neighborhood. I can go there. All right. But there's like I know DeFi Llama has like the stable coins. This might not be as comprehensive as what you were showing, but there are a lot, dude. I like, what is this? I've never even heard of BlackRock USD, and it's the 6th largest stable coin by market cap.
Yeah,
it's
zoom
on
in
a
on
lot
this
of
a little bit.
networks.
Yeah.
Damn, let's get this on Sonic.
Dude, World Liberty Financial has a stable coin?
Well, how do you sell it? You gotta be able to sell that.
I didn't even
Oh,
know.
actually, sorry, I was thinking about the WorldCoin shit. That's Trump stuff.
Yeah, that's the Trump thing. I
Yeah.
didn't know that was live even.
Or like Sky Dollar. I've never heard of Sky Dollar. Have you? I mean,
Sky
it's crazy.
Dollar, isn't that DAI rebranded?
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of impressive that Athena is number 3. I had no clue.
Dude,
Yeah,
Athena does work. Dude,
I mean, 'cause I've used Athena like for stuff before. I mean, it's
it's just you get good yield on it. It's just it is what it is. Like a lot of people don't like user curated stuff, but as long as there's like a nice dashboard or dude and you see what they're doing with your money, it's chill. I think we got like a little baby version on Sonic. It's called Stream XUSD. It's actually our like second highest TVL or maybe third highest. I'm not sure, but they just got a guy just aping absolute dingers in the background with your staples. But he's earning. He's been printing for users. So I think as long as you have like a really nice dashboard to kind of show what's going on. Damn, I don't even see XUSD. Okay, they fell off. Forget everything I said. They're like 10th highest TVL, but they were like top 3. But yeah, I do think Athena type curated stable coins where you're doing delta neutral plays or any of the BPS stuff that's just free money. It's cool tech. It's just there's a lot of risk trusting somebody to curate it, somebody to move the money here and there.
Mhm.
I've been hearing rumors about some new stuff potentially, maybe on Sonic, wink wink, maybe Sonic, but where I'm hearing myself, but where the entire trade is kind of it's done in the smart contract. So all that cool delta neutral stuff, BPS stuff, you don't have to trust somebody named Jim moving it around. It's already just built in the smart contract. So very, very excited. There's some cool stuff happening on Sonic in the background for anybody that's been aware. People take some time to build. So just keep your hopes up, keep the patience up, get some free S for cheap, and just you know what I mean? Just Zen mode, meditate. Like anytime you have the dark thought where you're thinking, God damn USDC farmer, fucking USD into the nose, out to the mouth, and then you're chilling.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And, scoop up some cheap ass with the NFTs. Get some tokens into the eco, some projects you like to see. You know what I mean? The future is bright.
Build something too while you're at it. Take a little smart contract tutorial. Don't just sit looking at the charts a little bit all day. Dabble in creation a little bit.
That helps. That helps a lot. Like people making content, creating things. That was kind of the last cycle thing. Like people, they would work for their bags a little bit more. So guys, hey, instead of Twitter fingers, bag working.
Bag working.
only berate your bag if you want a lower entry. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
You're screwing me over.
Well, I think we're at about an hour here. Episode 100, man. I can't believe it's been 100 of these. It's wild. So thanks for joining us, 24. It was great to have you hang out. Anytime you want to just come riff, man, come hang out with us, man. It was fun.
For sure. I'm glad that I'm on the 100th episode. I was telling Drac until I put this LED sign up, I'm not coming on, and I'm ready now. So
we were waiting. Yeah, we were waiting for the neon, so it finally showed up. So we're good to go now.
I'm gonna get you guys a little bit better.
Yeah, look at this. Look at this thing, man. Look at that.
Nice.
Dude, they even got the colors down.
Yeah. My buddy in China, I gave him the instructions. He held it down.
Yeah.
A little binary punk. If you...
I know.
Well, I had a binary punk.
Yeah, now it's gone.
But dollar just shattered on the ground.
But yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, man. Yeah, 100 episodes. Thanks for everybody hanging out with us live, commenting. Make sure, we got the new Telegram group there. You should be able to find links on socials and all that. Hop in there. We got the new newsletter. The first one just went live. We got to sign up for that. But yeah, we'll be back Friday. As always, we're here Tuesday and Friday. And yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us for 100 episodes.
Yeah, it really means a lot, guys. We couldn't do this without you because we do it for you. And it means it really just is awesome, dude. 100 episodes is a lot. It feels really good to have done this. And looking forward to doing 100 more, dude. Why not? So, yeah, let us know, what you think. Hit us up in the Telegram. I'm in there, in and out every day. It's a little slow right now, but I got plans, dude. There's actually a happening place, dude. I'm putting all my trades in there, and people are making fun of me. It's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we will see you guys Friday, and take care. Thanks, 24.
Peace.
GMSONIC is Corval and Dracula Presley. GM.